guys, welcome to my channel. I'm here to do a swatch and review video on a blush palette right here. Now this is from the Sephora Collection, which is Sephora's in-house brand, and this is called the Contour Blush Palette. Now this is a palette that they released for spring summer for this year. I don't see anything that says limited edition on Sephora's website. It just says new exclusive, so I guess this is not limited edition. So yeah, the box is very pretty. It has like an ombre effect from like a coral shade to like a very pale peach shade. And this as at the back you can see it has 6 blushes, and it says turn up the heat with the spicy collection of 6 warm blush shades, universally flattering colors in both matte and shimmer finishes, and these suit every skin tone from light to deep. Yeah, and that's it, you guys. And I paid $28 for this. I think this is a very good deal. $28, 6 blushes, 6 for a blush palette, and the amount of product that you get in each pan is 4 grams. To be exact, it's 4.04 grams. So yeah, that's a pretty decent amount if you ask me. And this palette is made in China. Now let's look at the actual palette. It looks like a Z palette, but it's very sturdy. And yeah, these are the colors. Let's take a look at the colors. Now they do not have any mirror or anything, so this is what it looks like. Now they have like a very deep berry shade. This has a very kind of a very what do I say, it has like kind of a depth to it. It's not like a bright berry shade. So yeah, that's a berry shade. This is a tiny bit lighter than this color, this berry shade. Now this is also a berry shade, but it's kind of lighter than this one. And this is like a peach shade with golden shimmers in it. And this is like a straight up beige shade. I don't know if anyone can use this as a blush, or maybe if you have very pale skin tone, this might appear like a very neutral, very nude blush. It doesn't have like cool or warm undertones to it. It looks very neutral. And this is a coral shade with golden shimmers in it, and this is a straight up gold shade. I don't know who will use a gold shade as a blush, but it doesn't have any mixed colors, blush tones in it. This is just a straight up gold. But yeah, so, and this palette, as the description says, this palette has both matte and shimmers. So you have 4 shimmers. Now this shade, the deepest berry, and then this peachy golden, then this gold shade, and then this coral shade. All 4, 1 2 3 4, these four shades are shimmers. It has gold shimmers in it. And this shade, this berry, and this palest shade, these both are matte. Now the shimmer shades are very finely milled, guys. There's no chunky glitters in them. And these matte shades, I would call this like the so-called matte, because they do have like shimmers sprinkled in them, but when you apply them on the cheek, you can't make there are no shimmers. It's just not existent when you buff it and apply it on your cheeks. So yeah, but in the pan you can definitely see shimmers just sprinkled across. Now let's do swatches. This shade is like a peachy shade. Has gold shimmers in it. And this is a berry shade. I know it doesn't look much when I swatch. Let's do another. That's a berry shade. I know I always do brush swatches as well, but these do not show up much on the when I swatch them with a brush on my arms. So I decided not to do a swatch. Now this is the deepest berry shade. That's what it looks like. Has like copper, berry copper undertones to it. It's pretty unique if you ask me. And let's do this row. Now this is like a straight up gold. It's like a straight up gold. So probably you can use this as a blush topper for those two matte shades that they've given. Then this is like a coral color. This is very vibrant and very pretty, guys. The coral shade is very, very vibrant. And it looks very, very duochrome on the cheeks. It looks it has a very strong duochrome when you apply it on the cheeks. When you turn, you can actually see here, you know, that it has gold and then it has coral. It looks beautiful on the skin, on the cheeks. And then lastly, it's just this shade, which just looks, let's do another swatch. So those are the 6 shades, guys. Now, performance wise, these are not crazy pigmented at all. These definitely need building up. Now, this matte berry shade, I did not need a lot of building up with that shade, because it was I just needed, actually I didn't build it up at all. I think I just did it once and it showed up on my cheeks pretty good, and this particular shade, it lasted very, very well. But the shimmers definitely need building up a lot. Now on my skin tone, to show up on my skin tone, now first of all, let me go back. This gold shimmer and this peachy shimmer does not show up on my skin tone at all. No matter how much I build it up, these two shades do not show up on my skin tone, and this looks completely ashy. I think that's pretty obvious. My skin tone, it's like it's unusable on my skin tone. Now these two shades, no matter how much I build up, the peachy shade does not come through, and this is just straight up gold, so it just appears gold, which I don't know, it doesn't serve the purpose as a blush if you use it by itself. So I think you will have to like use it as a blush topper. But yeah, these two do not show up on my skin tone. These 3 show up beautifully on my skin tone. These 3, this deep berry, this like kind of lighter berry, and then this coral gold shade appear beautiful. They look stunning on my skin tone. Now these two definitely need building up. The shimmers, like I said, this and this, they need building up. But when you build it up, it looks beautiful, and they do last for a longer time. Now the matte blush, so I can only speak for this particular shade because I did not use this at all. Well, I did try it on and it looked completely ashy, so I can only speak for one of the matte shades. This matte shade lasts longer. The lasting power is pretty good, but the shimmers, they kind of, you know, like fade away pretty quickly. So yeah, you guys, my personal thoughts on this is, if you are a person of a deeper complexion, I probably would not recommend this. If you are someone who's particular about using every single you know, shade here. So because this is a blush topper, and this is completely ashy, and these two do not show up on my skin tone. So if you are a deeper person with deeper complexion, you would probably only be able to use these 3 as blushes. But if you are a person with lighter complexion, I think you can pull all of these shades off very easily without any problems, because they blend well, they apply easily, and they're not crazy pigmented. So I don't think you can go wrong with these blushes. Even if you are a beginner, you can, and they blend easily. I didn't face any problems with these guys. This is pretty good. And what else? Yeah, I think if you really like this palette, and if you have deeper complexion, I would say go ahead and buy it, because this is only $28. And even if you do not like, I mean, even if these 2 shades do not show up on your skin tone, they do, since they are finely milled, you can definitely use them as very subtle highlighters. They are extremely subtle if you want to use them as highlighters. I did try them as highlighters and they are very, very subtle, extremely subtle. So yeah, and probably you can use this as an eyeshadow. So yeah, I don't think this is a very, very bad deal at all. And I think I like this palette, you guys. What else? I think we touched on, since this is a Sephora's in-house brand, you can find this only at Sephora, nowhere else. What else? Price we touched upon. So I think, yeah, you guys, this is a pretty good product. I highly recommend this. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and please give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching it, and please subscribe. Bye.